So yesterday I posted a video talking about why Bitcoin's going to go up forever. And it had nothing to do with governments buying Bitcoin. It had nothing to do with public companies buying Bitcoin. It had nothing to do with AIs wanting Bitcoin. It was a bigger picture. And this is something that I learned from a guy named Jeff Booth. If you're in Bitcoin, you've probably heard of Jeff Booth. And so in this video, I'm going to show you something that happened yesterday on Nostr. And I think that this could only happen on Nostr for a couple different reasons. So I'm going to bring up the post here on Nostr. I'm going to show you what happened. It was a pretty big deal to me. I'm going to kind of use this video as a historical reference for a couple of different reasons. But let's take a look at this. So this is the primal account for my Nostr page. You might see a couple different free ads here. You got some Trailer Park Boys, of course. You're going to see Arnie, of course, who's also sleeping in the background right now. Some head covers from knggolf. And here's the post talking about green lights, my new favorite term in Bitcoin. A green light. Every time somebody understands Bitcoin, I consider that to be a green light on the map. You can see here, I don't know how well you can see it. But this is kind of how I'm thinking about this now. This was a light bulb moment for me in terms of thinking about Bitcoin. Green lights. It doesn't matter the amount of people who have. I'll just kind of read through this first. So I said the things that don't matter in Bitcoin. The number of wallets out there. I know that that's a metric that a lot of people use to see the demand for Bitcoin, the number of wallets within Bitcoin, the number of people who have bought Bitcoin, the amount of Bitcoin on exchanges, the Bitcoin halving cycles and the current supply today, and the fiat price of Bitcoin. Those things don't matter in Bitcoin. Has nothing to do with the overall big picture here. The only thing that matters in Bitcoin is the number of people who understand Bitcoin. Those are the green lights in the world. Those are the people who, once you understand it, once you see it, you can never go back to that old system. And again, I kind of talked about it in this video, but I said, I don't know the actual data on this, but it has to be very close to 100% in terms of once you see it, you can't unsee it. Once you understand Bitcoin, you don't go back into that old system. And so once those green lights turn on, that's it. They're never being shut off. But so I tagged Jeff Booth in this post. I'll link the video to this below just in case you haven't watched the video here. I'm not going to play any of it. But look at this. You can see here on the post, Jeff Booth zapped this post 1,000 sats. And he said, thanks, Jor, and thanks for your continuing great work and helping people understand this. So a big shout out to another fat zap here, 3,000 sats from the blockchain yogi. But this is the kind of stuff that's happening right now in the world. You can make a post. You can make a video. You can write, if you're a writer, you can write a post. You can take a picture. You can do whatever it is that you enjoy doing, whatever you think would add value to the world and other people would enjoy. You can share that now on Nostr. This exists today. And from that, somebody like Jeff Booth can send you Bitcoin without anybody's permission, without having to put in a credit card number, without anything, without your name, email, nothing. You can do this stuff now today. This exists today. So that's on Nostr. Now I got a couple different videos on my page here talking about Nostr. I've been on Nostr for over 2 years now, and it has been the best investment I've ever made in terms of my time. I've made a lot of new connections on there. I've been able to express some things. I'm able to grow my channel through Nostr. I cannot recommend joining Nostr anymore. I can't. It should be, if you're in Bitcoin at all, if you get the green light, especially if you're somebody who understands Bitcoin and the power of decentralization and permissionless and the ability to send value to any other person on the planet in seconds with zero fees, essentially, you should be on Nostr. That's where you should be putting all of your time and energy right now. Forget Instagram, forget Facebook, forget LinkedIn, forget all of that. This is the place where you want to be. And whether you're just trying to learn more about Bitcoin or you're actually trying to connect with other Bitcoiners, sell products or services on the internet, Nostr is the place to be. And something like that, where Not only Jeff Booth sees it, acknowledges it, but also is able to send me 1,000 sats for that post. It's incredible. So I just wanted to share that. It is a bit of a, I guess, a humble brag here on my behalf, but I just want to show you, kind of that's possible today. This stuff exists. It's been built. We just need to start using this. And we have to go back to the first principles. This is another thing that Jeff Booth taught me here. The first principles around Bitcoin is that it's peer-to-peer electronic cash. And when you can do something, whether that's a video, a post, an article, picture, whatever it is, whatever skills you have in the world, you can now share that with the planet. And anybody out there who comes across that post, they can send you Bitcoin using something like this, like a QR code on the screen. They don't have to enter their credit card information. They don't have to put their name in. They don't have to pay a fee. They don't have to pay an exchange rate. You can send it in seconds without any fees using a QR code like that on Bitcoin. And just think about the implications of that. I actually just saw a comment on my page here, and I want to give a shout out to, where was it? My favorite thing about Bitcoin. I just saw this comment about 5 minutes ago here. Let me bring it up. But essentially what the point of the comment was, hold on. Could I bring it up? I don't know. It doesn't matter. It says, good shit, Jor. We talk a lot about Bitcoin as a store of value and how that changes the world. But it'll be fascinating to see how its medium of exchange capabilities change the world in new ways that aren't just buying coffee down the streets with sats. And not only from like a business owner's perspective, not somewhat like a creator's perspective, but just think about the implications of this long term. When you can add value to the world and anybody out there can see it and they can send you value instantly, any amount, could be 5 cents worth or 50 sats worth, could be 500,000 sats worth, whoever is consuming that or whoever got value from that, they get to decide. There's no price on it. I think we're moving in that direction, but that's just one implication of it. Think about how that's going to impact the centralized control structures of the world. When you can set up a Bitcoin wallet, you can go to your phone, you can go to the App Store, you can download a wallet. You don't have to put in your name. You don't have to put in your social insurance number or your social security number. You don't have to put in any of that. You just create a wallet, you share a QR code or share an address or even zap me a coffee. This is something I just came across today. Where is this? Zap me a coffee. So this is kind of something that you can use if you don't have Nostr yet, but you have YouTube or you share articles on Substack or whatever. You can share a link now that's connected to a Lightning address. So this is mine. It's zapmeacoffee.com with my Nostr and pub behind it. So it says Zap Jor a coffee. So you can support people $3 worth, $9 worth, 3 coffees, 5 coffees, whatever that is. I have an endless supply of coffee here, it seems, but this is just a good way to think about it. And so imagine if everybody was adding value to the world through different means, whatever it is that whatever skills you have, you put that out there to the world and people can, without permission, without identity, without anything else, can send you value back. That has massive implications in the world. And it is a huge middle finger to the centralized systems, the control structures, because when you think about it, the other side of this, if this technology didn't exist and all of a sudden this global, with the internet now that we have, the global economy has been unlocked. And if we didn't have something like Bitcoin, if we didn't have a permissionless, non-KYC way to do this, we would be in a lot of trouble. Because every time somebody sent you $5, $10, whatever it is, that would all be fully tracked. And that's kind of the world that we're moving out of right now. That's kind of been our reality for the last 10 years of the internet here, is that every single transaction is tracked. And you might say, well, Bitcoin's very transparent. Yes, but that's layer one. We're not talking about layer one here. We're talking about Lightning. We're talking about Liquid. We're talking about eCash, which are layers built on top of the layer one network, which is very transparent. But these are private and permissionless, obviously, ways to transact using different layers. Again, like Lightning, which is this, which is Zap Me a Coffee. I'll put that link in the comments too, in case anybody wants to send me a coffee. But that's Lightning, Liquid, eCash, and you can use all of those today. And just think about what's going to be built. We're 16 years into Bitcoin. We're several years into Lightning. These layers where you can transact privately are going to increase. They're going to improve. They're going to get better. They're going to get easier for people. And that is going to change the entire landscape of society for the much better. And imagine a world without that, where every single transaction, big or small, was tracked, traceable, and you had zero privacy. Like that's a huge concern. I don't think people realize how big of a problem that is. So there's a privacy aspect, but also try sending 3 or 4 cents to somebody using the traditional financial system that we have. I dare you. To even process a payment, I think it's a minimum of about 40 cents going to the payment processor. So like this is a very big deal. This is a very big idea. It exists today. And I think that people should be working towards taking advantage of this, because the earlier you can adopt Bitcoin, the earlier you can adopt Nostr, the earlier you can start implementing these things into your life, the further ahead you're going to be. This train is not slowing down. It's not stopping. There's nothing that can stop this train. And you can try to fight it. You can try to resist it. You can ignore it and hope it goes away, but that's not going to do you any good. The only thing that you can do, the only way to win here is to participate. And I'm going to give a nod and a hat tip to Jeff Booth to kind of round this video out. He basically says nothing else matters. As long as Bitcoin stays decentralized and secure, nothing else matters. It doesn't matter who the president is. It doesn't matter which countries are buying, which companies are buying. None of that matters. Get yourself some Bitcoin, learn how to protect that, and your life is going to get better.